Greetings and salutations, your average rider here. Let's ride the 2018 Harley Davidson Ultra TriGlide. Before we go for a ride, let's have a quick walk around. So this trike has a 107 cubic inch engine. We'll talk more about that in a little bit later in the video. There's a large fairing on the front of this bike. I actually quite like the style of that front. I believe the Ultra Glide has the same front fairing and same front dash as well. The owner of this trike has added little pockets up front here for some small items. A little bit larger storage back here, enough for a couple of water bottles. There's I don't know if those are luggage racks over top of the rear fenders. I don't know if they're good for much, but protecting it a little bit. The rack on the back top deck is actually quite useful. And then there's actually quite a bit of storage in this top rack here. Doesn't look like it, but I think that rear sheepskin is taking up more space than it could. Definitely enough for a few jackets. We've thrown a few jackets in this top rack before. And then the rear trunk, there's actually a lot of room back here. You can see right now there's just some rain gear, some tools, and some extra oil. Not for this Harley Davidson though. But yeah, you can fit lots of luggage back here. The driver and the rear passenger sit in luxury in these lazy boy-esque seats. There's rear speakers back here. And then there's a very nice dash with lots of controls. Nice bar and shield logo comes when you turn it on. Front speakers. And more controls here than the Starship Enterprise. More controls on the throttle side to start the motorcycle. Obviously the turn signals on the left and the right. It is a touch screen, but you can also control this infotainment center from the controls left and right with built-in navigation. This is my father's trike. This is him riding. I had to be the camera bike for the rest of this video, but I've spent enough time on the trike that I'd like to share my experience as well as some input from my father, who has put on over 11,000 kilometers or 7,000 miles on this trike. First, I can tell you it's a much different experience than riding a motorcycle. Motorcycles effortlessly lean into corners. The trike needs to be muscled around corners and it takes noticeable effort, but you can still make pretty tight U-turns, close to a motorcycle. As you can imagine, the trike takes up more space in the lane. Truthfully, it's not that much wider than a larger adventure bike with some side luggage, but with the trike, it's hard to avoid potholes. It's even worse than a car, as the trike has 3 lines you have to watch for. But the air suspension in the rear of the trike does its job and eats up those bumps and can be adjusted as needed based on the load. Speaking of load, the trike is heavy, really heavy. So even though the 107 cubic inch engine has gobs of power, it's still no rocket off the line. It has a 6-speed manual transmission with an electric motor for reverse. It cruises with little effort and there's still plenty of passing power. But yeah, it's not like my motorcycles. The brakes do a great job, truly impressive for such a rolling mess. A trike isn't for everyone, but for those that need one to ride safe, I think they're amazing. My father knew it was time to sell the motorcycle and get a trike, and this has given us many more years of riding together, and that's all worth it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.